Hey guys, it's Jen from beautyriotx. Why do I look so gorgeous, you ask? Well, I just can't help it. I'm not wearing any makeup. It's not a makeup video today. Who gives a shit if I have makeup on my face? Because I'm bleaching my roots, and that's because I'm finally switching my hair color back up. If you saw my last hair video, I don't do many of these, more so because I figure not everybody cares, but I figure for like big color changes, it's kind of fun to do these kind of things. My last color change was going from pink to teal, and it only took me about 5 minutes to completely regret that decision. I immediately missed my beautiful, lustrous pink hair, and I've literally been just regretting it ever since and trying to get this horrible, swampy, green, yellow shade out of my hair. And I am a professional. Just before you guys start in on the try this method, try this. I'm a professional. I know how to get color out of your hair, but unfortunately, green is probably one of the hardest things to get out of your hair. I've used color removers, I've used like regular layman's terms, consumer tips and tricks. I've literally tried everything. I'm done trying things. For the sake of my hair, I've had to cut off about 4, almost 5 inches of my hair to save the integrity of it. And now I'm just to the point where this is about as light and as much of the green as I'm going to get it at any point. So I'm ready to just throw the pink back on and hope for the best. So for the first portion of this video, I'm just gonna be bleaching my roots. I'm just gonna fast forward through most of it because nobody wants to sit here for 3 fucking hours and watch me bleach my roots. It's not pleasant, it's not fun. I hate it, and I'm sure you will too. And I'm just bleaching my roots. I have my bleach right here. I use Matrix, not because I love it, just because it's what I have on hand and I wanna get rid of it. I have my cap that I'll be putting on. I have gloves, and I have a damp paper towel if I need to blot somewhere. And that's it. So let's get into this. I'm gonna part my hair in 3 quadrants. You don't have to do it this way, but I find that it's easier to keep shit out of the way if you do it this way. I always do my front first. I always wish I had an extra person here to do the back for me, but Lou is not old enough to do that yet. I can't wait till she is because that would be so incredibly helpful. The worst part of brushing my hair is it looks like I just slaughtered an animal with all the hair that I pull off me afterwards. I don't slaughter animals, so I'm sorry I said that. All right, so this is the part I'm just gonna fast forward through. Normally it's like, why even bother showing us? But it's something gratifying about fast forwarding through this part and just seeing the end result for some reason, so that's what we're gonna do. A lot of you guys are so sweet. A lot of you guys have expressed to me that even you guys like this shade on me. Even my husband likes this shade on me. I can't stand it. I can't look at this on me any longer. I will go as far as to say that I hate it. I don't think it could possibly look worse. I don't have the highest hopes this is going to come out the exact pink that I used to be or the pink that I really want, but I'm almost positive it's not going to still be green, and that's good enough for me. I mean, listen, I've been a licensed professional hairstylist for almost 20 years. I still make mistakes. Sometimes I'm still like, crap, I can't even begin to remember or think of how to correct this. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I know everything. I don't. But I'd rather mess up on myself than a client, so I'm okay with this. But I will say, I was watching, like, you know, nowadays there's not too much you can't find online. On YouTube, on Instagram, there's not too much you can't Google, but man, I could barely find anything of any kind of video, anything. I could barely find, I think I might have found 2 or 3 videos of somebody dyeing their hair from green to pink. One girl, her hair was like deep green teal. Hair levels go from 1 to 10. 1 is blonde, 1 is black. Her hair was probably a good level like 4, and she just put pink on top of that green, and it turned her hair a nice deep maroon shade. Now she used like the color wheel and like helped to cancel out the green tint and everything like that. So I mean, that made me a little hopeful. I mean, this girl was like 18. She knew her like color theory though, so that helped her. I know my color theory too, so but I mean, I've got some yellow in there, and like I feel like mine might just be a little bit more complicated. I'm hoping for the best here. I don't want purple hair. Really want it to be pink again, but I know I'm gonna have to throw some like reddish in with that. I know I'm gonna have to put a tiny bit of purple in just to cancel out some of the yellow. We're gonna have some color theory going on. I'm not expecting to be my normal run-of-the-mill pink that I used to be, but I'm just praying it's not gonna look like shit. Fingers crossed. All right, this is the part I'm going to stop because you guys can't see any, all you're gonna see is me going like this and you can't see the back of me doing my head, so what's the point? So I'm gonna stop, finish the back of my head, we'll come back, see after it processes, I'll let you know how long it takes, blah, 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 and then we can come back and apply the pink together. I'll show you how much of each shade I'm gonna add and we'll cross our friggin' fingers to see. All right, so I've washed the bleach out, I've blown it dry, I've done my treatments that I usually do after bleaching, which is this cuticle sealer. I use Olaplex with my bleach. I've sectioned off my hair, which is why I look like a founding father. This is a Joico K-Pack cuticle sealer. It neutralizes and balances the pH in your hair after you do like a perm or a color service. I use it after bleach because it stops the cuticle from swelling. Now we're gonna do the root color, which I hate doing this. This is where it gets confusing. Being a stylist is really fun and you get to be really creative, but this is the part that gets really stressful because even though I'm doing it all myself, I have to make this cohesive somehow. I don't need them to match because as long as the root shade is darker than the end shade, I have to make this, again, flow together somehow. I do have a little bit of yellow and some spots of like orange left in my root, which kind of sucks because the lightener was on for like an hour, which is why I hate using this fucking bleach, but I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't want to waste it because I have a huge amount left, so whatever. So to kind of counteract that, I'm going to use some Magenta from Joico. It has a little bit of like purple in it, so it'll counteract a little bit of that yellow. And then I'm going to use my pink. So I have my favorite pink of all time. This is the Special Effects Atomic Pink. I get this on Amazon. And then the other Joico, which is just hot pink, which is kind of close to this, but a little bit lighter. So I'm going to use this first, and I'm just going to use about this much of the bottle. I'm going to go in with the hot pink, about ½ ounce of that. I'm going to use the magenta's really dark, so I'm going to use about ½ ounce of magenta as well. And that's going to darken kind of everything up. So I'll just show you in the bowl. There's the magenta. You can see how much darker it is than everything else. So let's mix this together. So the end result's going to be like a raspberry kind of shade, I guess. So you can see it's very kind of raspberry, not exactly the shade that I really want my hair to be, but like I said, the root needs to be a bit darker than the rest of the ends. I'm gonna add another ½ ounce of magenta because again, I need it to be a little bit darker. All right, so you can see now. Again, I don't want it purple. I still want it in that pink realm, but gonna be more of like a raspberry. You ready, Lo?
Yes.
Okay, and now I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna apply it to, just like I did the bleach. I'm basically just going to apply it right where I did the bleach. It's okay if it gets on a little bit of the green, but we're mostly focusing it on the bleach. Okay, that should actually be perfect. Deep enough that it's not gonna affect the green if it hits it. It'll definitely cover up the root, that yellow tinge that we don't want to show. Oh, I'm so excited. I just haven't felt like me with this teal hair. This part is very tricky because this stuff is very messy and it stains really easily and really fast, as you can see. Now, technically, I could just pull this all through and just call it a day, but I think we'll kind of mess around a little bit. And I mean, who knows? It may all end up looking the same anyway, and I could be doing this all for nothing, all my chemistry, but let's just wait and see. Bless you. Bless you. You're welcome.
You're doing pink.
I am. Basically, what I'm going to do for the back is just use the rest of the magenta, which is a good bit darker, for the back, because my basic rule of thumb in the back of my head is that I can't see the back of my head, so I'm not too concerned about it. So I'm going to turn off the camera, finish the back of my roots. Then we'll come back and formulate our end color, which is what I'm the most scared of. So give me a second to finish the roots in the back and we'll really get this party started. So I did some more cleaning around my hairline. It didn't get everything completely up, but I usually just let it sit there for a while. So when I do clean it, it'll come completely off. So this is the Dennis Bernard Power Tools Color Stain Remover. I get this at Cosmoprof, which is a professional beauty supply store. All right, so before I do anything with my end color, I'm gonna use this amazing comb that I found. Actually, I was watching Instagram and I found it. This is called the Wow Comb. And it's a comb with a wheel in the middle. And it helps to kind of blend colors together so you get that nice kind of gradient. And because when you use a regular comb, most people, like if you're a salon professional, if you use a regular comb, you can still get away with that. But this is so color doesn't build up in the comb and like pull it all the way down to the end. It just kind of nicely and seamlessly kind of just smooths color down the hair follicle, hair shaft, whatever you want to call it, just seamlessly. So I'll do this before I put my end color on to kind of start the process. And then after I put the color on, I'll do this again. So let me do this first. So it also combs it out and like without knotting it as well, or pulling on it, or like squeezing it or being rough with it. It's just a good, really good comb. If you're a stylist or just somebody who likes to color their hair, this is a really good tool. And I just scooped the remains of that other color that I used for my roots and I just put it in this bowl just because I don't like to waste hair color, because this stuff is not cheap, even for me. So I'm gonna use my other base shade, which is from Special Effects again. This is in the shade Cupcake Pink. Again, you can find this on Amazon. And this is like a neon pink. I'm gonna put about an ounce of this and do about an ounce of the hot pink from Joico. I'm gonna show you the color wheel right now. I've got some green in my hair, I have a little bit of blue, I have some spots of like yellow. So I'm gonna use a little bit of counteracting colors from all of those. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this peachy coral. I'm literally just using a little bit counteract each of these things. Probably not enough to do a ton, but it's really just for my peace of mind. So basically I'm gonna use a few drops of each of those counteracting colors. So I'm gonna use a little bit of red, a little bit of like an orangey shade, orangey peachy shade, to counteract those colors that are in my hair. Now this hot pink is gonna help because there's warmth in it, and the warmth is gonna counteract with green. But the cool in this pink is gonna help because it's gonna counteract the yellow. So fingers crossed this doesn't come out like muddy or like horrible, because I'm pretty scared right now. Oh God. A test strand would probably be smart, but I'm not the smartest person in the world. So. And you know what? I figure if worst comes to worst, I'll just have to throw the root shade all over the whole thing. So that'll be my worst case scenario thing. And here is our end color. Here we go. So I'm gonna overlap everything I just did kind of close to the root. Not everything I just did, but enough. Okay, sorry, I just like got done putting everything on. It looks like it's all gonna be kind of more of a raspberry shade, but honestly, I don't even care at this point. I stopped, the camera turned off because I was out of room on my camera and I couldn't touch it because I had gloves on and I didn't want to stop. So I don't know if you can see. From what I can see, it looks kind of raspberry at the ends. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna leave this on for about 2 hours. It's usually what I do. So it is 1:45 right now. I'm gonna take it off around 3:45, rinse it, and we'll be back in full makeup and everything to do the big reveal. So, I mean, it's going to look better. It can't look worse than Swamp. So, stay tuned. You guys have the easy part where you only have to wait like 5 seconds. Now I'm the one with the big long wait time. So, stay tuned and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. All right, I've processed. I've let it sit for about 2 hours. It's actually the next day. Actually, I'm lying. It's about 2 days later. I've already washed it an extra time, and here's the big reveal. If you don't use these, they're incredible. These like turban things, they're like turban towels. Oh my god, they're like my favorite things ever. I shampooed my hair with the Olaplex shampoo. That's what I always use post coloring my hair. I use Redken Anti-Snap whenever I'm like blow drying my hair, and I finished it with Olaplex No. 7 bonding oil. I just got this, I've used it twice so far, and I'm a pretty big fan, and I'm always really scared of using oil because I'm always scared it's either gonna kind of grab onto my hair and leave it like gross and heavy feeling and like oily and greasy. This, I use it like literally like 2 or 3 drops in wet hair. I kind of run it through, blow dry, and this is fantastic. It's kind of pricey, but the amount that you use, I don't have a ton of hair, but I mean, the amount that I've been using, I'm a big fan of this so far. So anyway. Now, as per usual, I knew this wasn't going to be like my pink, but it's not green. And that's the important thing. It's more of like a magenta, and I'm okay with that. It's fall, it's gonna be winter soon. I'm okay if it's a little bit on the darker side. And again, it's not fucking green. Big 2 thumbs up in my book. I used a little too much of my cool Cupcake pink, like that bright neon pink. It was a little too much of a cool pink, and I think it just brought out like the cool tones in the ends over here. I probably should have just stuck with a warmer red-based pink, but you can't go back in time. Even I can't foresee the future. Even I make mistakes sometimes, but you know what? I actually really like the way it turned out. It feels fine, it feels good. I might need a trim in like a month or 2 just to kind of clean up a little bit, but yeah, I think it turned out really good. So that was it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm always open to answer any hair questions you have. Obviously, I mean, you're not in front of me and I can't give you a detailed answer, but if you guys ever have any questions or anything, I'll answer it as best I can. Make sure you leave any comments in the comment area below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye. What was that? Anyway.